Okay, cool. So at this point, we've talked about Bellingham, Vinicius winning the Ballon d'Or. I mean, whoever takes it, congrats to them in advance.
Yeah.
But there's an important piece of the equation that's just been added, bro. And again, this move has been anticipated for years, and we can't ignore it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can't ignore it, bro. Someone has added Mbappe to the mix. Now, first of all, that makes this Madrid team very dangerous, but it also makes the Ballon d'Or conversation interesting too, bro. So you tell me, I know it's too early to call this, but is this finally the move that cements Mbappe's, path to that legacy? How does that work for him, bro?
Eh, huh. I mean, you see that they're different, right? I was trying to compare it to his idol Cristiano, right, and
Mm-hmm.
like try to see some parallels there, right? The difference is, Ronaldo joined Madrid as the best player in the world at the time. Like he had actually won the Ballon d'Or with Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
When Ronaldo was joining Madrid, they were not doing, they hadn't just won a Champions League, hadn't just won a league title. You know what I'm saying? So Ronaldo went in with, okay, I'm here to take you guys to titles, right? There was a mission there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mbappe is more about Mbappe than it is about Madrid. If you look at it, it's not a case of, oh, Madrid need Mbappe, right? Since
Mm-hmm.
this whole
We know.
saga started, they've won like two or three Champions Leagues. Since this whole Mbappe should come saga started, right? They did it
Mm-hmm.
with Benzema, they did it without Benzema, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a case of, oh, Madrid need Mbappe to go win this thing, right? Like, I mean, if we talk about Manchester City, right? We
Mm-hmm.
all know they got Haaland and finally they won the Champions League, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the situation here. Here it looks more like, okay, we've all been talking about, okay, Mbappe is the next after Ronaldo, Messi. He's the next best player, the next best player of this generation. He should dominate this generation, right? Already have like a World Cup trophy in the bag, has been to like
Mm-hmm.
a final, Euro finals and things. So
Mm-hmm.
he's the direct successor, right? More to Cristiano Ronaldo than to Messi, right? In terms of like profile of players. So
Yeah.
going to Madrid makes sense for Mbappe, right? That being said, we don't know that it will work, right? Because
Bro.
when Ronaldo went to Madrid, he was the star at the time. Now you have like Vini is a star in his own right. I mean, the
He is.
Bellingham story you were even talking about earlier, that in itself is a
Mm-hmm.
conversation, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
some of these players are really like big, big, big personalities. So I'm interested to see
Mm-hmm.
how, like, how it will all work out. Even this formation, he likes
Yeah.
to
True.
play on the left, just like Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Rodrigo as well likes to play on the left. So you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just interesting to see how it works. But it's a good move for Mbappe, no doubt about it. I mean, you want to be the
Yeah.
best in the world, you want to play for the best team in the world. So, you know,
Makes sense.
yeah. What do you think about it?
Good question, boss. I mean, you touched on a lot of important points that I also share the same sentiment on. I think it's a better move for Mbappe than it is for Madrid, but it's the only move for Mbappe that makes sense as far
Yeah,
as elevating his career goes. You know,
yeah,
of course, we all had dreams of, man, should he wear the Manchester United shirt? Should he go to Liverpool? Should he come right? Because remember, you and I outside this had conversations about Mbappe. If he really wants to cement his legacy, he should come do it in the Prem. Come
yeah,
choose a different path that people don't expect.
yeah.
And while that is true for some clubs, maybe a team like Liverpool would work. I don't know if an Arsenal would work. I don't
Manchester
know.
United, man. Like we're talking, Madrid is not even just about the fact that the team can play ball, right? It's also about the
Mhm.
global status. Let's status, right? If you go to England in terms of status and heritage, it's Manchester United. I mean, imagine that on your CV,
Fact.
Manchester, like you took Manchester United back to the top. I mean,
No, that in my book is that's impact, bro. That's what you're looking for, right?
yeah,
That's what you're looking for. But then again, Mbappe is what 25 right now,
yeah,
right? One of the hottest players, if not the hottest player
yeah, yeah,
in the market. I can't exactly blame him for not even considering the Prem, bro. And
yeah,
of course, funds aside, so I guess it makes the most sense for him.
yeah,
I
yeah,
really hope that Ancelotti gets the mathematics of that dynamic correct,
yeah,
because this it's like a star stacked team right now, right? And you have to
yeah,
really put the chess pieces together. If there's any manager who can do it, Ancelotti is right there.
yeah.
You
Don
can't
Carlos.
put you can't put Ten Hag in that team. Respect to my boy. Respect to my boy Ten Hag, but you can't put him with all those personalities and everything they're
Yeah,
cooking.
he's not gonna be able to do it. That's a
Nah.
fact.
Yeah, you need an Ancelotti type manager who can
Mhm.
arrange the chess pieces. And I think he can. I mean, they wouldn't even do this with Endrick if they couldn't. So maybe he has a plan. We just hope that plan works out. Now, so far, man, Ancelotti hasn't missed, bro. He shoots, he aims, he hits.
Eish.
You know me?
The guy is
Teams have
too
tried to
clean.
stop the boy,
Too
but
clean. Too clean.
he's too clean, man. He always comes out on top. So I'm excited for what this means for Madrid as a team, though, because they're supposed to be unstoppable now, right? They're supposed
Supposed
to
to
win
be.
everything now. They're supposed
Exactly.
to every game they come into, Madrid are automatically the superior team. Even against their
Exactly.
rivals like Barcelona right now, like
I
no team
mean,
is supposed to be able to stop this team, bro.
Barca
And
ain't no
maybe
rival no more, bro.
shout out to all the Barcelona fans watching this. We love you still, but let's be
Eh,
honest, man.
tough time.
Pedri,
Tough time.
Gavi, I don't know, man.
They
It's
ain't
not
it, bro.
working.
They ain't it.
They ain't it. I mean, they need Menu. Menu will save that midfield.
Yeah, yeah,
Take
yeah.
my boy Menu. But
Yeah. So what do
yeah,
you
I think
think?
the whole
Mbappe wins
situation.
the Ballon d'Or in the next 5 years?
If he
Unprovoked.
cooks, if he really cooks, and I think he'll cook, then I don't see why he shouldn't. Mbappe, if you think about players right now who are supposed to win the Ballon d'Or in the next 5 years, Mbappe is definitely in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, Jude, definitely in that conversation. Shout out to my boy Kobe Menu. I'll put him in there. That's because I gotta come back home. I gotta come back home.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
these are the type of players you expect to win the Ballon d'Or soon. So why not? Why not? We'll see how he cooks. I'm excited for it. I'm
Okay.
excited to see how that works. And again, he could win a trophy in his first game there, bro. The walk, the
Super
Super
tough.
Cup. Yeah, he could
Yeah.
win a trophy. I mean,
I mean,
Kane
he could
couldn't do it. But boy
easily
could.
also pull a hurricane type.
Nah, Mbappe's
Yeah.
icy. He's icy. Mbappe's too
Hey, bro.
icy.
Hurricane in his first, he had an opportunity to win a trophy. It's like my guy is like, I don't know whether he's repelling
Yo,
trophies or what, man.
on God, man.
If
And
that
speaking
guy
of Harry
ends his
Kane,
career trophyless, oh my god, it will be
uh-huh,
one of the saddest, saddest stories ever.
it really
Wow.
would be. It really would be, given just the kind of striker he is. But we don't have to talk about it because people know how good Harry Kane is.
Yeah.
People would try to have him in his team. But how can you be that prolific of a striker and not have a trophy, bro? It can't be Tottenham's fault now. It can't be because you've gone to Bayern Munich. You've gone to Bayern Munich. And the season you go is a season that a team that was almost relegated came and did an invincible. Bro, like, I don't know who
Mm.
he pissed off. Someone in his ancestors pissed off someone.
He needs a trip to, Keta in Ghana. He needs to go to Keta in Ghana, go and see the gods there.
It's good to speak of, bro. He used to go visit some people because maybe it's
Yeah.
ancestral. Maybe it's, oh God.
Yeah,
Because
it's
how you
tough.
trophy? I mean, at this point, it is tough, man. But speaking of Harry Kane, maybe we can give some Ballon d'Or shout outs. Guys, we know who won't win, but deserved it this season. I think Harry Kane is one of them,
I think
for
he's one of
sure.
them for sure.
Harry
For
Kane is
sure.
one of them. Who else do you think is on that list? Just off the top of your head.
Yeah, I mean Foden.
Mm-hmm.
He did well. Even Bruno Fernandez, like some low key, performances, like very, very low key. But that guy consistently,
Like,
bro,
mhm.
consistently. So
He was there for
also
the team.
shout out to Valverde hey man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that guy for me, yeah, is the most
Mm-hmm.
complete footballer I've ever seen.
Valverde?
Valverde. Oh, I think
Tell me about Valverde.
he
Do
changes
you think he's like
every
underrated?
so underrated. I think he changes
Yeah.
every team. Every team. Every team's midfield Valverde gets in there, they get better. I mean, what can he do? He's I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for a midfielder, he's as quick as a winger. You know that? He can
Oh,
strike
true.
the ball like the way
Oh,
Ronaldo can
true.
hit a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, very sound as well. Always available, always starting.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guy is just the perfect midfielder, if you ask me. And
Mm-hmm.
technically, that's the thing. I feel like that's where he's very, very underrated. People don't realize how technically good he is as well, like with the passes, switches of play, and things like that. That
Mm-hmm.
guy, man, he's one guy to look out for. Like he gives me this like the way you see Rodri. Rodri really gets like really under the radar for Manchester City as well. People don't really like
Mm-hmm.
mention Rodri as like we all want to talk about Haaland and Foden and things like
Mm. But
Rodri left
Rodri's in there.
Manchester. He left the team and they lost games. You
Yeah,
know,
no, literally. Before
so
like this.
exactly,
So
exactly. So
I think the
that
only game they lost when Rodri was playing was the UCL semi-final in penalties.
exactly.
Yeah,
Even that
so
one
that's
officially
only
doesn't count. So
it doesn't count. So technically,
yeah, we were the
he's
ones who
invincible.
did it officially.
No, we did it. Hey, watch the space. Watch the space for coming. So I think Haaland, sorry, not Haaland, Kane, definitely Valverde, Rodri are in that conversation
Yeah,
them Leverkusen boys,
yeah,
Florian
yeah.
Vitz.
Florian Vitz,
That
yeah,
man, we need to talk about them too because they did some,
yeah, 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 yeah.
they did some,
Actually,
bro.
so this is a great point for us to even get into like the Euros conversations because like I'm really
Most
excited
definitely.
to see. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. This is like one of the most exciting Euros for me. I don't know. Like it's very exciting
Mm-hmm.
because I want to see like players like the vets, Musiala, like all those
Yeah,
boys, like
yeah.
even Hurricane. Like what do they do
Mhm.
in this Euro? So really, really excited to see what will happen there for sure.
No, they for sure they're cooking. All these players we're talking about, they're going to be competing against each other soon. And I think it's a good segue for us to talk about this competition because it cements some of those Ballon d'Or talks or some of these
Yeah.
greatness talks. You feel me? So, which country do you think really needs to win this Euros? Like,
Oh, needs to
which
win.
country needs to win this Euros? Yeah.
As for needs, I think we all know it's England, bro. Those guys haven't won anything in like or anything in like even in our ancestors' history. But they need something. Like in terms of
Yeah,
needs to win, England needs to
yeah,
win something. I mean, you don't
League
have
needs
a
to win.
squad. If you look at their squad on paper,
Bruv, that squad damn near undefeatable. No, they're
I
so
mean,
good.
okay, okay.
They're
First of
so
all,
good.
we say look at that
Mhm.
squad, but then today I was sitting down. I actually watched their game against Iceland, and I looked at the squad again. I'm like,
Mhm.
hmm, they don't have defenders, do they? I
Oh
mean,
no, but I think I attribute it to the selection though.
I mean,
Southgate, Southgate,
no, but think
Southgate.
about it. It's not like they have. I mean, which defender did they leave out that you go, oh, this guy should? I
Yeah,
mean, Maguire is injured. I mean, it's not like you get what I'm saying.
true,
John
true.
Stones, as good as he is on the ball, I don't think he's a good
Mm-hmm.
defender. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And McGrady, I mean, Crystal Palace. I mean, no offense though, but come on, really? You get what I'm saying? And then Kieran Trippier
Yeah.
plays left back. I mean, come on. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, like if you talk about like world class defender, it's just Kyle Walker they
Mm-hmm.
have, right? And then of
Yeah, let
course
me just
Trent,
like take a look at their squad right now and see
yeah,
actually what's
yeah.
going on. But yeah, you were
And
saying?
then like Trent is like of course generational player,
Yeah.
right? But even with him, we all
Mm-hmm.
don't want him to play in defense. Some of us want him to play in midfield. So I look at their squad
Mm-hmm.
and I go, okay, I see where the challenges are. The backline ain't good, but from middle
Mm-hmm.
to front,
I see it.
from middle to
It's
front,
good.
stack
No, they're star-studded, and Trent is actually registered as a midfielder right now.
exactly.
That's funny. But what about Tomori though?
That's the
We've always
thing.
talked about Tomori, and he's not
They don't even
trash. He's
call him,
cooking
bro.
in AC Milan. Yeah,
Bro.
he's
Yeah, so
cooking. So I and then again, okay, they may not have the best defense, but going forward,
yeah,
they got some boys.
they do
But
got
the
some.
thing is, they got some boys, but they didn't pick some boys. How do you feel about Rashford not getting picked for the Euros?
He should have been picked. I mean, I don't care whether it's
Mhm.
on form, not on form. Like, guy.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking
though there's
about
just something.
player profiles.
Yeah.
Today I watched their game. You should actually like take a look at their game, bro. There was no, that different source, that different like a player who can just like Rashford could be
Mhm.
having a bad day and then just that banging shot against Manchester City. Like that was a
That's
bad day.
it.
We still lost the game anyway.
With all
But
due
it was out of
respect to
nothing.
Eze, I don't know if Eze is doing that.
That's what I'm
I don't know
saying.
if all due respect to
Like
Eze, we love that he got picked, but I don't know if Eze is doing that.
that's what
You
I'm
feel me?
saying. And
Yeah.
like
So,
I'm also looking at the
oh
profile
my
of the
days.
players, all the players he
Mhm.
picked. Like today, I watched the game, bro. It was all these players like ball to feet. Palmer wants the ball to his feet. Foden wants the
Mhm.
ball to his feet. Even Eze wants the ball to his feet. Even Anthony Gordon,
Mhm.
that I thought, like, I mean, today he was exciting because he's more of an actual like straightforward
Mhm.
winger, right? Like the Doku type. So he was exciting,
Mhm.
but like Hurricane also wants the ball to feet. So wait, you've assembled a team that they all want the ball to feet. Well, if you meet a team that just wants to play in a low block like the way Iceland did today, of course you're going to pass the ball to them. I mean, they had just one shot on target the whole game.
Mhm.
One. You get what I'm saying? So, hey, I mean, and he even dropped Jack Grealish on top of it. At least that guy can keep the ball. I mean, so I don't know. That
Mhm.
England squad, I don't think they will win. I think they are the ones who need to win. Who will win the thing is a different conversation. But I'm looking at Germany. I'm looking at
Mhm.
France, obviously. And the team that is really like everyone is not really talking about them, Portugal. It's one of the most
I'm glad you
balanced
said that. I
teams.
was waiting to you say Portugal. I was like,
Bro,
bro, Portugal, they're cooking, dude. Portugal.
the team is
Mm,
stacked. Like, in terms of on paper, I think they're better than England.
Yeah,
Like on paper, because they have everything from back to
I
front.
think
Their
so too.
defense is solid, the midfield is solid, the front line. I mean, of course, the front line is cooking.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. I'm just trying to look for that squad right now.
So
You guys are
Portugal,
going to
hey,
look.
Portugal
Yeah,
looks it's really, really
because
good.
they're cooking. No,
Bro,
Portugal could actually, and I'm like, what's stopping Portugal from having a winning campaign? I mean, shout out to my man Ronaldo. I'm biased here a little bit, but what's stopping Portugal from having a very successful Euros campaign? Honestly,
exactly. Because they have everything. I
France.
mean, Bruno, Bernardo
Mm-hmm.
Silva. That's even before Ruben Diaz, bro.
Bruv,
The kid
no,
Antonio Silva, the João
they got
Neves
people
kid
who can
as
play.
well.
Of course,
Oh,
right? Then you can add
Cancelo,
the
Dalot.
João
Oh,
Felix,
guy.
whatnot.
Portugal
They're
is
like
stacked.
they can cook. They just need to be able to assemble the pieces correctly, man, and just approach the game different.
I
You feel me?
mean, perspective wise, they haven't lost a single game, by the way, since the new
No, they
manager came.
haven't. No, they
Not
have
a
not.
single.
They have
And
not.
they're banging like 2-3-4, 2-3-4. It's not like 1-0, like 2 3
They're cooking.
4.
They're cooking.
And they play
So
ball, eh? They play ball,
no,
bro.
no, these guys play. I'm like Portugal. The way I've seen Portugal play so far, my money, I'm gonna put some of it on Portugal, bro.
That's
Can't
what I'm
even lie.
saying. Like no one is talking
I
about.
can't
I
even
like
lie.
that though. To be fair, I like the fact that they
Mm.
are going under the radar. It's like okay, they're just quietly moving along, doing
Yeah,
their business. Like keep talking about England, bro. Me, I won't be, England might not even make it to semi-final. You heard it here first, by
bro.
the
Oh, you heard it here first, people. If that
way.
offends you, then sorry, but England might not make it here, bro. And
Yeah,
I won't be surprised if they didn't make it there. I
yeah,
mean, historically, of course, they just never do. But right now, for the squad they've picked, congrats to all the players who've been picked. But I don't think this is their most strongest team.
yeah. I watched
I just
Palmer
don't think it
today.
is. Yeah.
The kind of chances he was missing, I was like, wait,
Mhm. Right? And something else I think about is when you're playing for your country, it's an entirely different dynamic. That's why Maguire sometimes always gets picked, even though
exactly,
he's playing nicely. A lot of
exactly.
these England players who've been picked, while they deserve it, have been rewarded for their performances this season. Eze and the type, right?
Yeah,
But there's some people who just thrive within that dynamic of playing for their national team. And
exactly,
that's why I'd also argue that Rashford should have been picked. It's no surprise that
exactly.
he was one of the best players of the World Cup and he started
Yeah,
cooking after that, right? When he came back, he started cooking after that. Like
yeah,
that dynamic or maybe the teammates he has there, that's the right concoction for him to cook. So you can't ignore that as a national team coach, bro. What
yeah.
Southgate was playing a PR stunt. He was just trying to appease fans because
That's what I'm saying.
people have had good
Bro,
seasons,
that's so
right?
true. Like I looked at his squad, I'm like, this sounds like what everyone, like almost every podcast I've been listening to, have been talking about. They're like,
You know what I'm saying?
like I'm like, wait, did he
Yeah,
actually listen to people and just picked a squad that would just like comfort the viewers and
right?
stuff? Because I'm
That's
like,
all he did.
even Grealish. I mean, I'm not a Grealish fan, but
Mhm.
I was like, okay, if you're gonna drop Rashford, at least take Grealish.
Right?
Like,
Take
so
people who can cook for you, man.
I mean, you're going
I,
into an Euros with what? So who's gonna play on the left? What? Anthony Gordon?
right?
Or he's gonna end up having to even play Foden on the left. I mean,
Exactly, and that's how you end up messing up. And here's another problem: playing in the international scene requires an entirely different kind of mentality that you can't just experiment with. Half the squad is an experimental squad,
exactly,
especially where they're strongest in the midfield and the forward. These are experiments. These are people who've never been there like that. They've never been in
exactly,
that season. So you need
exactly.
players who've been there, man. Rashford needed to be on this team. That's not even because I'm a Man U fan, but because he's proven that when he's under the international lights,
Yeah,
he will cook and he will cook.
and guy,
Grealish will cook.
I mean, let's also be fair. I mean, on paper,
Mhm.
arguably one of their best players on paper. I mean,
Swear, of
right?
course.
We can't argue that. I mean, Anthony Gordon
No, he's not.
is not better than Marcus Rashford. No chance.
No, he's not. He's
He
not.
just
He's
had a
not.
better season. That's
He
it.
did. Eze has had
Yeah.
a better season. He's not better
He
than
just had a
Rashford.
better season.
He's
Exactly. He's
not.
not better than
Yeah.
Rashford. So but let's see. That's why I'm excited about Portugal. Because Portugal is like
Mhm.
it's the actual best players on paper and
Right.
performance.
No, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, Rafa Leao. I mean, oh man, that team is
No, Portugal have
Pedro
picked
Neto
their
made
best.
it. Oh, that team is
No,
cooking.
Portugal have picked their best players. Like they've said, we want our best players. These are our best players. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
you going to do about it?
And you know one thing
So,
I'm gonna say? If
yeah.
Portugal has a great tournament, let's say they win it, and Bruno
Mhm.
has a great tournament,
What you
Ballon
want
d'Or,
to say?
Ballon d'Or conversation, bro. Fernandes, Fernandes.
Bro, on a technicality, purely on a technicality. But you know how Ballon d'Or goes, bro. It's
Of
all
course, but
vibes,
still, I'm
bro.
just saying
But no, like
that would really
the
raise his
argument,
stock.
the argument could be made because Portugal is not going forward in the competition if Bruno doesn't play well, or if
You
yeah, you know what I'm
understand?
saying. If they do, Bruno has had something to do with it
Mhm,
somehow.
mhm.
So
I mean,
I
nine
can see
assists
how
in
that would
10
work.
games. Nine
Mhm.
assists in 10 games.
That's cookery, bro. That's cookery across different time links too. So whenever he's in the Portugal shirt,
He's
you know
cooking,
you
bro.
can cook. And that's the mentality you need, bro. You can't just bring someone who's been playing good for Crystal Palace. I mean, shout out to Crystal Palace, bro. But
Charlie,
like,
this everything is bashing my boy. What's up? Oh, Charlie, Eze,
because
what is he
Eze
doing?
was the direct replacement for Rashford, bro. 'Cause, like,
Shout out to Eze, by the way, my Nigerian brother who decided to play for England. Oh,
no,
damn.
shout out, no. You know what? He made his choices. Shout out to Eze because he wouldn't be here if he didn't have a good season, and he had a good
True,
season,
true,
right? But
true.
as no, as people who do this as entertainment, we gotta, we have to make this kind of comments and be objective about it. It's like if
Yeah,
it did boil down to the both of them, then I'm picking Rashford every day, man.
true,
I am
true.
picking Rashford, but
I mean,
I can see why Eze got picked.
Even
Yeah,
Eze knows he's not a better player than Rashford. Even
no,
Eze
he
knows.
does. If this switch is Eze, shout out to him. Shout out to you, bro. But again, we're just two people who love football, and we have to make our commentary on it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
sir.
with that, I
Yes, sir.
think we've touched on a couple of good topics. Next time we'll be talking more about the Euros, more transfer rumors, and what's happening in the football industry. So stay tuned for
Yes,
that.
sir.
But for now, thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Jojo,
It's
and
Isaac.
and we'll see you next time, man. You guys take care
Yeah.
of yourselves, and yeah, take it easy. Peace.